Donovan McNabb traded to the Redskins. MLB opening day, and Duke wins the national championship.
Back in, he scores!
He could go all the way.
Yankees win!
We're talking about practice.
Out of here! It's gone!
Blue Devils just won their first NCAA national championship since 2001. What some consider to be the weakest number 1 seed going into the tournament, Duke was the only 1 seed that actually made it to Indy for the Final Four. In convincing wins over Arkansas Pine Bluff, California, and Purdue, the Blue Devils weren't really scared at all until their Elite Eight matchup with Big 12 player Baylor. After pulling out a victory over the Bears from Baylor, the Blue Devils did what not many were expecting and what they hadn't done in a few seasons before in reaching the Final Four. And what many thought was practically the national championship game itself, Duke took on the sharpshooting West Virginia Mountaineers, led by guard Deshaun Butler and coach Bob Huggins. And what could have been Duke's most impressive victory in recent memory, the Blue Devils scorched the Mountaineers' defense, shooting 52% from three-point range in a monumental 21-point win. In the championship game, the Devils met America's sweetheart and hometown favorite mid-major school Butler. The Butler Bulldogs had already set a number 1 seed in Syracuse, 2 seed in Kansas State, before winning in the last seconds against a practical Final Four permanent resident in Michigan State. In a game that will most be remembered for its defensive tenacity and 2 near-made shots by Gordon Hayward, one coming at half court as time expired that would have sent Butler home as national champions, Duke pulled out a 61-59 victory over the Bulldogs. Congratulations, Blue Devils. In other news, Donovan McNabb. After a year in which the Philadelphia Eagles lost in the first round of the playoffs to arch-rival Dallas Cowboys, they have shopped and finally traded their franchise quarterback, Donovan McNabb. After rumors swirled about the team trading the quarterback to the simply awful Oakland Raiders, the Pro Bowl quarterback was traded to the Eagles' division foe, Washington Redskins. Both of these NFC East teams seem to be changing the core structure of their foundation. The Eagles trying to get younger, whereas the Redskins are attempting to get older and more experienced. Talented but unproven young quarterback Kevin Kolb will now be the starter for the Eagles, and former Atlanta Falcons superstar Michael Vick will be the number 2 on the team's depth chart. McNabb and new coach Mike Shanahan will lead a Redskins team who went just 4-12 last year and greatly underachieved in multiple areas. McNabb was traded to Washington for a second-round pick in this year's draft and a third or fourth-round pick in the 2011 draft. Opening day for Major League Baseball was this past Monday, and the season sure got off to a fast start. Atlanta Braves rookie Jason Hayward hit a home run in his first ever Major League at-bat in a 16-5 rout of Will's Chicago Cubs. St. Louis Cardinals superstar Albert Pujols hit 2 homers in an intriguing game in which the Cards topped the Cincinnati Reds 11-6. The Red Sox erased a 4-run deficit to defeat the Yankees on opening night with a score of 9-7, and the Phillies beat the living hell out of an improving but still pretty bad Washington Nationals team. My Texas Rangers rallied late against the Toronto Blue Jays and won 5-4 with a walk-off single by catcher Gerard Saltalamacchia. The NHL season is winding down, and there is less than a week left in the season. The season will conclude on Sunday, but not all the playoff spots are filled. In the Western Conference, things are set. San Jose leads the way with 109 points, and the Colorado Avalanche just clinched the last spot in the West on Tuesday. However, things are not set in stone yet in the East. The first 5 spots are spoken for, but the last 3 spots will likely come down to the last day. The Montreal Canadiens are as safe as you can be right now in 6th with 87 points. Behind them, the Philadelphia Flyers and Boston Bruins have 86 and 85 points. The Flyers, who have just 2 games left, and they're against the 9th-place New York Rangers, who have been slacking lately, who have 82 points. If the Rangers win both games on Friday and Sunday, they will take a spot from the Flyers. The Boston Bruins have the toughest schedule. They play the Buffalo Sabres on Wednesday, and their last 2 games are between the Hurricanes and the first-place Washington Capitals. Make sure you tune in this weekend for what is sure to be a crazy finish to the NHL season. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the second quarter. Welcome back to the 5th quarter. Needless to say, the UNC men's basketball team didn't have much of a good year this year. After winning the championship last year, they lost a lot of their good core players, and they had a season full of disappointments, turnovers, and bricks. But we're going to see if the morale is still high or if it has sunk some at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. We're now going to kick it to our boy, John Short, at University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill for a brief report.
Hi there. My name is John Short. You may remember me from such films as Hallelujah, the Tar Heels run to the 2009 national title. I stand here in the Valley of the Thriller, live from Chapel Hill, after a night in which Duke captured the 2009 national champion, or the 2010 rather, national championship. Now, much like the story of the Grinch who stole Christmas, you would think that the Who's in Whoville would be not happy, would be sad because the Grinch stole Christmas. But we don't care about rings and things and boxes and trinkets because we're still very happy here in Chapel Hill. As you can see, still just getting back to what we do. A humble people who just love the game. So, you know, it's been a rough year, but what's a good year if not a rough year? Sometimes the best times are the worst times. So now we're gonna get some opinions of people at Carolina, how they feel about this Carolina basketball season. Okay, let's follow me. Would you care to be interviewed about Carolina basketball this year?
Yeah, sure.
Wallace, borrow this, please. Wallace, what was it like? First of all, give me your overall experience that was Carolina basketball this year.
Well, I'd like to say it wasn't as good as last year, but I feel like we're in a year of rebuilding. Got some pretty good recruits coming in, and I feel like our guards are really learning how to take care of the ball.
Take that, please. Thank you. It was starting to drip. Wallace, how do you feel about? First of all, is this vanilla?
No, it's Heat. New Agora flavor.
It's Heat, Agora flavored Heat. So that's the word, you know. Not too worried about things around here. Congratulations to Duke. And
Had a good year. Had a good run. They all got to win something.
We look forward to a happy and healthy 2010 and beyond. John Short reporting live from the Thriller, Chapel Hill.